This podcast is for a mature audience and may be viewed as inappropriate or insensitive to some. Listener discretion is advised. The intention is to share conversation of like and unlike-minded individuals as they try to be the best them they can be in a life full of challenges, searching for love, acceptance, and positivity. Call 669-241-1422 and share yourself or catch up with Sweet Baby J for an anonymous face-to-face interview. Feel free to call in with questions, stories, thoughts, or anything you would love to talk about and share. Nothing is off the table when talking sweet with Sweet Baby J at 669-241-1422.
Ladies and gents and ladies, once again, you are here talking sweet with Sweet Baby J. As always, it's a no face, no case scenario. Today we have a beautiful young lady with us that I met in a strange place, as I meet most of my guests. I'll leave that up to this young lady. How are you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
It's a great day to be me, as always. And you just chilling?
Yeah.
Oh, raccoon just... Yeah, that was random. A raccoon.
That was a raccoon. Hope it's not rabid.
Oh, my God. Well, they usually only come out during the night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
This is a weird place for a raccoon.
Maybe he wants a drink.
Maybe.
Come to a Bar Louie to have his drink. Raccoons.
Exactly.
Yes, everyone. It's a cool spot over here at Bar Louie.
It's tropical storms throwing him off.
Yeah, he's like, he's looking for shelter.
Exactly. I don't blame him.
There you go. So, young lady, you are I don't even know how to say the right term. You are is it a ballerina or ballet dancer?
Either one, really.
Is there a proper way to say it?
You can say ballerina, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been dancing?
My parents, they put me in creative movement class when I was 2.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then, I just kept on with that. They put me in everything pretty much. So they did everything from swimming to art classes to piano and guitar. And then eventually all of it just whittled down and you have to choose the one. There comes that point. And so I just stuck with ballet and I did all the different forms of dance, but ballet was the main one I liked the best.
What drew you to ballet more than the other forms of dance?
I think it was really just how clean... I like how clean cut it is, and I like that you can always just keep improving upon, and once you've gotten one thing, you can always do more. And that's also true with a bunch of other forms of dance, but I just think the endless possibilities and how difficult it is, again, always challenging me every day, something new to think about. Once I get one step, then I'm well, can I do 3 turns instead of 2 turns, or can I get my leg up 1 inch higher than I've already been getting it up?
Wow. My daughters do ballet. Wait, do we say do ballet or dance ballet?
They do ballet.
Okay, they do ballet. And there was a time where they were being trained to do their splits. Mm-hmm. And they came home crying.
Yeah.
Because they're it hurts. Apparently the instructor was pushing them down.
Yep.
And that's normal.
Yeah. I don't really think it should be normal, but it definitely, that's how I was. It's actually a really funny story. My teacher, so I went to the University of Utah. And my teacher there was the one who, when I was 5 years old, would push me down in my splits.
Oh.
And coming that full circle and seeing him again, I was what is this? What's happening? And especially in a university setting where they're much more liable for injuries and stuff, he had definitely learned and changed his ways.
Oh.
But that's definitely a very common practice to be pushing the children down in their splits, which I don't think is a good idea. Especially because it can deter them from wanting to participate in ballet in any range, whether it's just recreationally or pursuing it professionally. And it also can be bad for especially growth and the development of their muscles too.
So I can honestly say that it was deterring my daughters from wanting to dance.
Yeah.
They were not feeling it, but now they would literally just be walking and just drop into a split. And I'm all right, please get out of here with that. I can't. And then sometimes I'm joking around with them and I try to do it and it doesn't go very far. It's definitely something that you really have to train to do.
Yeah, and once you have it, but then you have to keep practicing and keep it up, because it's just practicing it every day, really, and stretching. My little sister, she called me the other day, and she's well, you teach me how to do my splits. And I was just got to stretch. Got to keep stretching, and eventually you can probably get into it.
So it's pretty much like any type of athlete. You definitely have to train, and you started from a very young age.
Yeah.
So is dancing ballet a sport or is it an art?
I think it's both.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do tell.
because, well, there's the whole sports part of it, and where I dance, we do conditioning. On the side, we have like a workout facility, and a bunch of dance places have that. They have their Pilates studios. They'll have gym trainers who like come in and have specific ballet-centered like workouts and all of that. But then there's the whole artistry part of it, because you're doing all these really hard steps, but you have to emote something to the audience, make them feel something, and like tell a story through that.
Yeah, so it's definitely a much more of a connection, whereas if it's, let's say, boxing or football, you're an athlete performing and, really with a goal, like whether it be to score or knock out or, just a win. But when it's ballet, you would say it's harder because you're actually trying to sell a story as well.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's harder because I can't look like I'm in pain. I have to make everyone think it's the easiest thing in the world.
You do it smiling the whole time or straight face?
It depends on the ballet. Depends on the day, too. But
wow.
Yeah.
So our ballet artists generally, what do they get a title of, as dancer or as athlete?
Most would probably say dancer, not so much an athlete, but that's definitely becoming more prevalent, I think, as times progress and as just like the more we know about dance and the more we know about the human body, and definitely like the long-term effects that ballet has on the human body and how we can prevent that. It's been turning dancers into athletes, I think, especially with that cross-training.
I've seen in my past life when I worked in New York doing radiology, and I've seen a lot of ballerinas' feet.
Yeah.
And OMFFFFG, do they take a toll?
Yeah.
It is. So when I hear that they're not considered athletes and how much impact it has on the body, I'm like, how could you not be considered an athlete?
Exactly.
Wow. So with that being said, so it's all that the toll that it takes on the body is one thing. And you start from such a young age, but also there are issues, a lot of issues apparently in the ballet world. There are gender issues, there are race issues that really, I don't know if people really are knowledgeable about unless you're in that world. Mm-hmm. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So like, what do you think are some of the issues?
Well, definitely, like you said, race, gender, and it's sad. I feel that the dance world is a lot slower to adapt to that, and some of it does have to do with, like, the classical ballets. Like, for instance, if we're going to talk about race, like Swan Lake. It was originally made for white dancers, all white dancers, white swan, and then black swan's evil, but she's still very fair, white skin. Same with Giselle. They're supposed to be ghosts.
I'm like, who's Giselle?
They're willies. Willies who like haunt the males. So male like past lovers who have done them wrong.
Oh, okay.
She dies of a heartbreak, very sad, and then she becomes like this willy. And they're all very dark, very solemn, just like dancing with these males until they die. Like
wow,
teaching them a lesson. But in that too, you have to be very pale. And today with like a lot more modern ballets, those definitely leave a lot more room for, well, I feel like they're more just like racially accepting because you don't have to look a certain way, especially when they're set on various companies. And a lot more companies have become more racially diverse because the opportunity has been made available to more people of different races, because it also, I think, comes down to like socioeconomic like classes and stuff. Because dance is expensive.
Yes.
As you know.
I'm going to have to say I do know.
As you know. And sometimes race and socioeconomic status can sometimes
play a part into that.
Exactly.
I actually sent an email, DM to LeBron James. I was like, yo, look, bro, this is an art form, a sport, sort of, because it's not competitive. There's no competitive ballet, is there?
I mean, they have competitions.
Really?
And they have competitions. You go, you prepare a piece, you perform it, and people place. But that is then for artistic directors to see you, choreographers to see you, so then you can get a spot in their company.
Oh.
And so then you can make all these connections and continue to dance and travel the world.
So would that be sort of like gymnastics? Because gymnastics is definitely considered a sport and a competitive sport. But when I look at some of the things that they do, floor exercises when they're dancing gymnastics, or I don't even know, call it dancing, but when they're doing gymnastics.
They do a floor dance.
Yeah, and it seems a lot of it are movements that a ballerina would do.
And a lot of those girls have taken ballet classes or will take dance classes in order to improve upon that artistry, especially with the floor dances, the floor routines.
Well, a lot of athletes in different sports, I think, take ballet in order to improve how they maneuver. I know of, I've heard of football players that have taken ballet, boxers taking, ballet because you want to be more graceful on your feet. So I don't see how it couldn't be considered a sport.
Exactly.
It is definitely crazy. And then even thinking about the racial inequalities that take place, I was looking up this industry. I think it's called the DDP, in which they were talking about the gender inequalities that take place in the ballet world. And one thing that is said is that once you reach to those more elite levels where you're a trainer, that females get paid 68 cents, whereas a male would get $1. So 68 cents on $1 for a female. And it's just so hard for them to reach to those higher levels. Whereas I can see the fight for that gender equality, but I really didn't see much about the racial equalities that need to take place. Whereas I know that just in the past few years, they started really wearing the darker tone. I don't know what
Point shoes?
Well, point shoes, and what's the tights?
Leotards and the tights? Yeah.
So what is your take on that stuff?
The racism, just everything, all the inequalities.
Yeah. Oh, hey, let's talk about it all bundled up in one.
No, I do think definitely, especially racial inequalities, that's definitely been something that has been making progress in the dance world, again, like you've said, within the past couple years, and especially with specifically African American dancers, because now they've come out with, for instance, you can see there's all these different shades of tights. I work at a dance store, and now I see there's mocha, there's suntan, there's light suntan, there's caramel, there's latte, there's all these colors, because at first it was just pink.
Yeah.
Because pink, when it stretches out, it looks white. It looks white like your skin. Well,
not my skin.
No, it looks white like my skin.
Yeah.
But
if my skin look white, we're going to have a big problem. Yeah.
So there's that. And also they've come out with point shoes, because at first, dancers of different shades had to, it's called pancaking. So you take foundation, cheap foundation, and you put it on your shoes so it matches your skin tone.
Oh.
And again, for females who are just white, they don't really have to do that. But anyone of any other color, sometimes they have to do that if they want the point shoe to blend right in with the leg and make that extra long line. So dancers have had to do that for a really long time. And now recently, point shoe companies have been coming out with various shades of point shoes so that dancers don't have to do that.
I bet you they've seen an increase in their profits since they've...
Yeah.
See, so, when people say that there are economic benefits to supporting black communities, there absolutely are.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There absolutely are. So there's a lot of economic power within a black community that I guess everyone just needs to pay attention to.
Economic power, knowledge,
just
more artistry, more input, growth.
Just being human.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. There was a young lady that I was looking up. Well, more than one. First of all, I Googled black ballerinas. Only 13 people came up. I guess those are the ones that are at the elite levels.
Oh, yeah.
And there were a few men. One of them, Gregory Hines. But one of them I did see was Misty Copeland.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you know the name.
Misty.
Yes. Misty. And there was another young lady, I think her name was Precious Adams, who she got a lot of pushback because she said she's no longer going to wear the pink point shoes and I mean, she received a lot of flack for that.
Yeah, but she shouldn't have to.
It's crazy. Just society presents a lot of things that shouldn't have to, that shouldn't be. But for some reason, people are stuck in very old ways that should not have been.
Exactly. And I think some of that also has to do with dance is also an aesthetic art form. So, some people might be like, well, she's going to stick out because she has dark legs and everyone else has pink tights. But that's just something I feel like people need to accept and move on.
So do you think that when they say that she's going to stick out, that maybe because she has the dark legs and the darker tights, that maybe she will get more shine? She'll just be noticed more because of just who she is naturally?
I don't know. Some people might just think, it's going to throw off the line. They'll be just from looking at it from a distance or something. But I think that, especially, I think it would become less of a problem too as dance companies become more racially integrated. Because, for instance, when I was dancing in various companies I've danced in, I don't think I've seen any African-American females that I've personally danced with professionally. African-American males, for sure. I've danced with a few.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So there are more African-American, I just say black, but so there are more black males than females. Wow. And I wonder why that is, though.
I feel that they're in the dance world, again, going back to the gender inequality, there's definitely more opportunities for males to dance than there are females, I believe. Because at first, dancing started out that the female was the star of the show. And still, she is, especially like at the top, like take Nutcracker, for instance, Clara, Sugar Plum. There's a prince, there's a soldier, but like Nutcracker doll, no one really cares about that. They just want to see the pretty tutu.
Yeah.
But there aren't as many male dancers because of the stereotype, like, oh, you're girly, everyone assumes you're homosexual, like all of that. So then that provides these opportunities for more males to dance, which I think is wonderful because we definitely could always use more males in the dance world, but then it leaves all these females who are fighting for that spotlight.
Yeah.
But it's handed over to the male just because of that's how the choreography is. If that makes any sense.
100%. So you actually brought up another point that I really didn't even think about, but the fact that many males are seen as possibly being gay or girly for dancing, which is not always the case.
No.
Knowing what I know now, I would have went into ballet so I could just be around the girls.
Exactly. That's
hey,
the way to go.
You ain't lying.
Yeah. And especially they have to lift these females. They have to carry them across the stage.
Yeah, I'm gaining their confidence and everything. Man, I'm just dating service already.
Exactly. And
BalletSingles.com.
It can be dangerous, though, because people work life and love life mixing sometimes.
Do you see that often?
I don't see it often. I have seen it, and it can get a little messy. But
ever been your case?
No,
Good,
has not.
good.
I have avoided dating any dancers. The closest right now, I'm dating a pianist who I used to work with.
Oh.
So that was really fun. He would play in our class, and I would dance, and sometimes I would teach, and he would play. So.
Do you guys ever do that stuff at home? Does he have a piano at home?
Of course. Of course he does, yes.
Oh.
So, yeah, we would record my Zoom lessons for our students, and, yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But I like that because he knows what I'm going through. We have our own we're all in, that arts community, and he understands everything, but he's not always there and always pushing on me and need to be like, you need to point your feet, you need to do this.
Could also get crazy. You might be dancing and doing a little Swan Lake, and he just starts playing Liberace or Little Richard. Like, I'm tired of you. You didn't do, You never know.
Exactly.
Wow, that's pretty cool. When we think of the racial inequalities and the gender inequalities, and then there's just, I guess, the sexual preference inequality, something I didn't even think about even talking about. Wow. It's just really a matter of becoming a more accepting society in the ballet world, which seems like they're really coming up on the back end line.
Yeah.
It's taken a while.
Yeah.
Why do you think that really is, though?
I just think it's because, again, it's just the history of ballet. A lot of people want to preserve that history, which I do think is important, all the historic ballets and where it's come from. But definitely, branching off of those stereotypes and the norms, some of the norms of ballet, you have to change with the times.
So when we say the history of ballet, what is the history of ballet?
It started in the French courts.
Oh, okay.
It started as a court dance, so again, all the rich and elite people, and it was King Louis XIV, the Sun King. He had his own ballets, and they would go all night.
Oh, he had them dancing all night?
Oh, yeah, and he would dance, and he would perform. He was always the star.
But of course, he's the king.
Exactly.
I can only imagine if you outshine the king, it may be an off with your head situation.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would always, tone it down a little bit, trip every now and then just because. Wow.
Yeah.
And then, so your boyfriend plays the piano, and you dance.
Yeah.
How long you guys been together?
A year and a half.
Uh-oh. Is it a prospect?
Yeah.
Really?
We'll see.
Yeah, you're in line. We'll see. It is all a we'll see situation. You never know.
Exactly.
You never know. Do you guys live together?
No, he lives across the country.
Oh, so you're in a long distance relationship?
Yeah. Just because I recently moved here, so still figuring things out. He comes and stays for a month at a time. And
wow, how does he do that?
Well, he works a lot from home because he's still doing Zoom classes.
Oh.
Especially with the current pandemic going on.
Oh,
so,
that thing, corona.
Yeah,
Yeah. So he does a lot of Zoom. The way how people have been making money
Yeah.
has definitely changed with this pandemic. I think the whole going into work is going to change. Just people are more able to make money remotely. But have you been doing do you teach remotely a lot or?
I personally haven't. At the start of the pandemic, with the end of the dance season in like May, June, I was teaching remotely. I would teach my students and I would send them videos too. But right now I'm just working at the dance store, dancing. We dance in person right now, but I am doing my online college course remotely. So
Going to school, because you did say you're in school and dancing. How do you do that balance of the love of your life, which seems to be ballet, and also what you're trying to go into as a career, and a boyfriend that actually is across the country?
Yeah.
How is it balancing all of that?
It's a lot, but like dance is what I want to be doing right now. But I know that like physically my body can't be dancing forever. Maybe it can. Maybe it can go for a long time. But I also know that there's other things that I am passionate about and other things that I want to do in the future. And I want to help other people. I still want to be involved in the dance community and work with ballet dancers, but just in a different setting.
What is a life expectancy of ballerina? Like how long? Not the life expectancy, but of actually performing.
It depends. It's just like some people go like, like Wendy Whalen. She was a principal dancer, and she went until she retired at age 45.
Oh.
But then there's some dancers who they get one injury, and that's it. They're age like 27, and they're out.
I can't deny that when my daughters first started dancing ballet, I wanted to take them out and put them into boxing. Yes, almost landed me in divorce court. But I really wanted to take them out because my whole mindset was, where are they going to go with this? What are they going to be doing? They're not going to be dancing ballet professionally. But whereas boxing, that I just felt that that's something they could protect themselves. I don't think that I personally gave ballet the respect that it deserves. And
I can attest, like, ballet has taught me a lot. It's done a lot to me, too, some negative stuff, I will admit, but definitely it's taught me discipline. It's taught me how to think on my feet, think really fast. It's taught me how to work with others, focus on myself, learn about my body, which not a lot of people really understand how their bodies work.
Yeah.
And what their bodies can do. So I don't know, obviously ballet has shaped me into the person I am today, but I definitely think it teaches people a lot, and it also just teaches an appreciation for music, dancing, artistry, shows how to express yourself.
It really seems like you really have adapted to the beautiful things, but you did mention that it's done some negative. Like what?
There's definitely always like the body image.
Oh.
Definitely, in high school, people, a lot of like during puberty and stuff, people go in and out of phases, a lot of anorexia, a lot of eating disorders, and also just some like the perfectionism that's just comes with ballet. Like you want to be perfect, but like you're never going to be perfect. There's always going to be something else you can work on, but striving for that perfectionism and changing that mindset. But in that process, like the stress you put on yourself.
Did you ever deal with the anorexia or any of that personally?
Yeah, just a little bit. Say a little bit. But yes, in high school. Definitely going through puberty and all those changes. I was like, no, I'm not going to let this happen to me. And so definitely. But,
how did you get out of that?
I think my mom was like, you need to eat. You just need to eat more. And I was like, but I don't want to. But she's like, you have to. Or you're not. And the doctors were like, they were going to have to put me on certain medicines so that my menstrual cycle would start again, because I hadn't had it for 3 years, and they were really worried about that.
Wow.
Because I know that's a part of like the female athlete triad, where it's definitely have such a low percentage of body fat, and it just stops. But that's really important for your bones to release all those like vitamins, all that nutrients into your body to help you have a long career. So I was like, do I want a long career or do I want to look like I'm a stick? And now I'm like pretty happy with my body. Like I always, I can always be more toned, and I always want to fix this or that. But
everyone goes through those things, those body image things, in which they're never 100% comfortable on how they feel. I think that goes for men and women. But you have to be healthy.
Exactly.
You have to be healthy. And did you ever realize that point where it just wasn't healthy for you, other than your parents bring it to your attention or your doctors bring it to your attention?
Yeah, I didn't feel my best. I was tired all the time. I didn't feel like I could do everything that I used to be able to do. And so definitely once I put on a little more weight, I could feel like I had this strength again. and then I was able to do more and feel better about myself and dancing.
Okay. Wow. See, I tell you, we talk about all types of things here. You know, the good and the bad, the beautiful and the ugly.
Exactly.
But, and I never thought about that, the whole body image thing. So, damn, there's so much. There's the body image, there's race, there's gender. Sheesh. So, when we're talking about body image, you were saying that there's a young lady.
Her name's Catherine Morgan, and she used to dance at Miami City Ballet. And she still is. She's a beautiful dancer, and she was like, I believe it was School of American Ballet, like a prodigy child. Like, she was dancing in New York City Ballet, and then she was a soloist, and it turns out, I believe, that she had like a thyroid condition that just made her body look different. She wasn't like stick thin. She was like, maybe you couldn't see all the rib bones that people like to see, but she's still a beautiful dancer. She can do everything.
So people like to see all the rib bones and everything? Wow. I guess to each their own, because that's the last thing that I like to see meat. You know, I'm that's that kind of guy. But in the ballet world, it's more you want to see the bones. And
it depends on directors, depends on the company, but definitely a Balanchine, at least in like books I've read and a lot of research I've done, he said like he wants to see the rib bones. He wants to see that nice chest, that nice like collarbone and all of that. It's very expressive. It's very beautiful. But also there is like a very fine line between like being able to see that and also like having an eating disorder. So she definitely had a lot of problems, and I believe she left the company, and then she's doing a lot of great stuff, but she was at Miami City Ballet. She came back, and then she left the company for various reasons, but one of them definitely was because they weren't acceptive of her body.
Oh.
And I believe she said she was a size 2.
Wow. So a size 2 is really small.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and there have been multiple cases, in multiple companies, where dancers have been taken out of roles, not given roles just because of their body shape, their body type.
So wait, because she felt that they were not accepting of her, how her body looked, and she was a size 2. Did they feel that she was too thick or too slim?
Too thick.
As a size 2, she was too thick. Wow. Do you see that? Is this something that still goes on?
Oh, yeah. No, this was this was like past few months that
Really?
this happened. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she just came out about it, and there were a bunch of other stories. Like a bunch of people opened up and were like, I was fired from this company because of such and such and such. And they're like, this isn't how it should be. People should be acceptive, and it should be based on your artistry, how you dance, not if you're a size 2. Even if you're a size 4, if you're healthy, if you're strong and able to perform, I don't think there's a problem.
See, so it's not just about race, gender, also just about how you look. It's also about health-wise. So the ballet industry apparently really has a long way to go.
Yep.
Especially this being something so recent. And it's still an issue for people not receiving roles or parts because of how pretty much being body shamed. And it's strange that you go into stores now, you go to Macy's or Target or whatever the place may be, and you look at some of the ads, the printed billboards, and you can see 2 men getting married. That was one thing that I was like, oh, okay, that's different. You see 2 females getting married. Oh, okay. Now, not only do you see that, where people are becoming more and more accepting of different cultures, sexualities, or whatever the case may be, but now they don't airbrush. So they're showing stretch marks. I remember the first time I was in Target, I'm like, okay, I see stretch marks. And I was told that they are now, me personally, I love it.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, I love, and not seeing stretch marks is weird to me, but I love seeing it. But it was good to see that, society is definitely changing and being more accepting to what's natural. That we're all different. We all have different body tones, different colors, difference. But there's so much beauty in the differences that's what should really be appreciated. I just personally feel.
Oh, for sure.
Tell me your take.
And all of that?
Yeah.
Oh, I think the more acceptive, the better.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree.
I just think I love seeing all people. I was looking the other night, my mom said, oh, do you want anything from Athleta? I want to get you something for Christmas. It's just a
Athleta, what's that?
Athleta. It's an activewear. They're with a Gap and Old Navy, a part of that group. And so I was like, yeah, for sure, let's check it out. And like I was looking online, and it's great to see people different colors, different shapes, different sizes, all of that, looking at all these things from like crop tops to just like sweatpants and like workout gear. And it's just refreshing. It's not like, oh, you have to look a certain way. It's like you can look however you want and still look great in these clothing.
I agree. It's what really brought the disparities to me is I was looking at a Amazon Prime movie. I don't recall the name, but they really pointed out how over the years, black females were not accepted in the ballet industry, how they were told that they just wouldn't cut it. Mm-hmm. The young lady Adams, when she was coming up, that's the one that said that she was no longer going to wear the pink points or the, She said that she was told that she needs to find a way to get the black off of her. With Misty Copeland, how just the abundance of adversity that these people have to go through just to do what they love, which I think personally makes their achievements that much better.
Yeah, and even with Misty, not only did she have to fight like racism, there was also stuff with her body shape too. There's definitely, she has a larger chest, and that's another thing too with dance, that support that's not provided in a lot of leotards and costumes. So she's definitely, like, I read somewhere that she has to get like sometimes like her costumes reinforced to be able to support her in certain ways, and that was like something that was really hard. Like at first they were like, wait, why can't you fit in this? Why do you need this? But that's just something that they've become more accepting of. So like little things like that too.
So even though, just because she had, I guess, a larger bust?
Yeah, she had a more womanly figure. God forbid.
Yeah, right? It's so strange when I hear this. First of all, it's like we love women, but yet we shun them for being a woman. Mm-hmm. How the hell does that happen?
I don't know.
Who's in charge of this crap?
Men.
Ugh, bastards.
White men.
Oh, yeah, bastards. Not all, but one too many. That's in charge, yeah. So do you think that if there was more diversity at the top levels of this, that maybe things would just get farther ahead quicker?
Mm-hmm. Wow. I definitely feel like that would be a possibility.
So as females fight for that equality in pay, I think just as much as an argument needs to put up for their sisterin of color.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, don't just say, women need to be paid more, but there needs to be more diversity. I think the more diverse we all are in whatever field or anything that we're in, it creates more opportunity for a level playing field and makes a level playing field that much more opportunist. So, cool. Finances. Let's talk about that. Because you say you dance at different places, or you teach at different places?
I don't teach right now.
Oh, okay.
I taught before I moved here.
But is it something that's get paid well, or is it really?
You can get paid pretty well. Teaching's always, it was never something I really wanted to do, but I was like, it's an easy way to make money.
Good money.
At first. Yeah. Decent money. You get some good discounts. You get free classes.
Oh.
But I definitely did fall in love with it. I really do enjoy teaching. I don't want to teach all day, every day, but definitely a few times a week. I really did enjoy that, and like seeing my students, see them improve, getting to know them, helping them like discover new things about dance and also about themselves.
Guiding them to be the best them that they can be.
Exactly.
That's a lot of beauty in that, to see someone just flourish. That sounds good. Would you ever open your own dance school?
I don't know. I don't really think so. My mom, she has this fantasy. She wants me, because in Italy, right? I think it's still right now that you can buy really old homes for like $1. Then you have to like fix them up. And she wants me and my boyfriend to move to Italy, open our own dance studio, and she'll just float on the beach.
Mom got big plans.
Yeah, Mom just wants to float in the Mediterranean, and then I'll run my own dance school, which does sound pretty great, but not right now.
Not right. Hey, listen, those prices are not going to be forever, so
exactly.
Now might be the time to actually make that investment and see.
It could be. I don't know, though.
Hey, listen, when it comes to making investments, you never know. It's all a gamble. Hey, that's what landed me here. I made an investment back in 2005, and now I'm sitting here with you having beautiful conversation about ballet. So, hey, make that investment. You never know. Mommy might be right.
She usually is.
She usually is. So. Hey, Mommy, shout out to you and all your beautiful thoughts and pushing her to do better. And the boyfriend for supporting you.
Yeah. Oh, always supportive.
Oh, okay. An always supportive boyfriend, a supportive mom. What about dad?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dad is
Parents, sister, they're all very supportive.
okay. That's
They're
pretty
always
cool.
there to help, give me some guidance, but they'll always support me in what I do. Definitely, my parents definitely pushed me, because some dancers out of high school, you either can go into like a company right away or you can go to college. And my parents were like, you have to go to college. You need to have a degree, something to fall back on in case something happens. So that's definitely some of the stuff, but I'm glad that they made me do that. Not made me. I did want to. I think that was the right choice. Looking back, I can see that's where I really developed and like found myself, and then I was able to go into the professional world right away, confident.
See, the reason why I said what about dad, because you spoke about your mom, and then I wonder, am I the dickhead dad that's like, don't stop doing ballet, do something, you know? But is that common? Was your dad always supportive of ballet, or? Oh, I guess I am the dickhead dad. Damn.
No.
My wife makes me be extra supportive. She really makes me. But it's a beautiful thing to have the support of your family, support of your loved ones, and that supporting yourself, you know, that desire to be in it. So, and where do you see yourself in 3 and 10 years?
3 years, I still want to be dancing. 10 years, that's debatable. Depending on where my career takes me, I might be ending my career. I would probably say, you know, around ending, like, dancing professionally, I would say, like, 35 might be, like, that's a good spot. And then transitioning into going to grad school, hopefully becoming a physical therapist, and then going on and helping professional dancers again learn about themselves, strengthen themselves, become better dancers, and just passing that knowledge on.
So you want to be a physical therapist? And you want to really, I guess, put a lot of your attention towards dancers? Like, I guess that's where you promote your oh, that's cool. So you already have a little niche that you're trying to follow.
Yeah. And I have some guidance from where I danced previously. There was a physical therapist there who was also a dancer herself and then went on to do physical therapy and now works with dancers again.
Oh.
So she has a lot of great resources that she's been able to offer to me and guide me in the right direction.
That's pretty damn cool. I never even thought about that. So it's pretty much you have your business, like your own personal business, started up because you know this niche that you want to attend to. Wow. I'm going to have to say thank you for talking sweet with Sweet Baby J. This was actually pretty cool. A topic I never thought that I'd be talking about, ballet. 1, because I've never danced it, and 2, because I wanted my daughters to do boxing instead of ballet. Which almost landed me in divorce court. I'll never leave that part out because, if you could be a fly on the wall in my house, boy, I tell you, the conversations got deep. But, you know, we really talked about some things, the racial inequalities, the gender inequalities, and the fact that a new way is seen. And there's a lot of beauty. I think just as a society, just being more human and realizing that people are people. We all want to make it in the things that we love. We didn't choose our complexion. We didn't choose how we look. So that shouldn't be something that holds us back from being the best us that we can be. And that's how this conversation started, and I appreciate you for having it with me.
Yes, thank you. I had a great time.
Yeah, there you go. Ladies and gents, you are here talking sweet with Sweet Baby J, where nothing is off the table when talking sweet. So hit us up, Google Talking Sweet, and follow us. Don't be afraid to share. Have a great one.
That's about it.